Well, I hope you packed an umbrella. So a while back, I got to check out an early access copy of Caught in the Rain, an upcoming solo TTRPG where you play an investigator trying to solve a mystery. This game is by a small indie Australian company known as Ravens Ridge Emporium, who very kindly sent me the game to look it over. They also make really beautiful dice and have a couple of other games under their name. I would 100% go and check them out. Now, when it came to Caught in the Rain, I will admit I was initially skeptical. The concept of a solo TTRPG system felt a little too far-fetched to me, and as I looked over this system's pages of rules and tables, I did find myself questioning how this could be a fulfilling system. However, that is all to say that I was incredibly wrong. Caught in the Rain is a fantastic and intuitive system that works perfectly for its intended purpose, providing the tools and mechanics for creative and intriguing storytelling, all while providing a genuine sense of accomplishment and joy as you play it. Now granted, there is a large portion of this that relies on your own creativity, but to that I would say, is that not why we're here? To play Caught in the Rain, all you need is 2d6 and a deck of cards with the face cards split from the number cards and the jokers. You will then draw 3 of the face cards without looking at them and set them aside. What you have now is your clue deck, the numbered cards, and your truth deck, the face cards, which are used throughout the game to single out the 3 cards you have set aside and solve the mystery. But enough explanation, you're here to see it played. And for that, I present to you episode 1 of the mysterious memoirs of Aristide Thaddeus Grundon Magnusson III. Aristide is somewhat of a legendary character from my world of Hymgard, a dystopian Norse techno-fantasy wasteland set after the Battle of Ragnarok and ruled by the divine survivors of the Great Battle. You can find more information about it here and check out our new TTRPG live play campaign, Echoes of Ragnarok. And real quick, I do apologize for some of the audio issues in this video. It was before I upgraded my microphone, and I didn't quite have the levels for music set right. They do get fixed, trust me, very quickly they do get fixed, but thank you for your patience with that. But with that all said, let's go to Past Dragyn and jump into the mysterious memoirs of Aristide Thaddeus Grundon Magnusson III. I set up a hand cam. Look at this shit. Yeah, your boy's going places. So this is a solo mystery-based TTRPG. It uses a deck of cards and 2 dice. On the side of the screen you have a mystery sheet and an investigator sheet. New art for my investigator, yes. This is Aristide Thaddeus Grundon Magnusson III, scholar, adventurer, and doting grandfather. So this is one of my characters, one of my NPCs from Hymgard, which is the homebrew world that I'm building, the setting from my books, and also the game setting that I'm building. He is essentially the guy who's written and cataloged pretty much everything. In Hymgard, if you were to find anything that was written, any sort of research paper or what would you call it, like tome of information on any sort of part of Hymgard, chances are he either wrote it or is cited within it. So we are going to play through a few of his mysterious memoirs tonight using the Caught in the Rain system. Music down a bit, it's drowning out your voice, for me anyway. Is it? Okay, hold on. That's weird, my voice has been, I feel like my voice has been real. I can also probably put my voice up a bit. I think I've been yelling too much in my other streams, is the main thing. Running through here, we've got our name, our trait, which I believe is generally like, as the name suggests, it's a, like your character's main thing. Let me just bring up so assigning a character's most proficient attribute to 2, 1 to their second most proficient, and 0 to their least proficient. So I'm gonna put down for Aristide, he's probably 2 is probably in insight, 1 is in method, and he's got 0 in power. That's not to say he's not strong, he's just not as strong as he is insightful or meticulous. Create an obligation and write it underneath your highest attribute. Create a signature keyword. I'm not going to roll for this one because I've got an idea of who this character is. There are keywords you gain later. You can gain them later, and then I will roll for them. But the first one I'm just going to put down because, again, I've got an idea of this character, and diff is I'm going to put it down as knowledge. Cool. So, yes. So, generally the idea is that he's sort of a scholar character. So, for trait was on page 57. Again, I'll probably pick one rather than reading. I know you can't see a lot of this stuff, but I can't set up so many screens. And I don't have any sort of like proper actual like switching things. It's quite difficult for me to switch on the stream, as you may have noticed. But hopefully this is all good. Trait table. There it is. Optimistic, lazy, blind, alter ego, cocky, narcissistic, soft, missing limb, insomniac, cowardly, superstitious, adventurous. Is there like a extremely curious? Maybe? I'm just gonna put what would it be? Insanely curious. Cool. So that sets up the character. So setting up the game, we're gonna set danger to 0. No danger right now. Start a game. Okay, so we start with a deck of cards. And you separate the cards. So you've got one deck of face cards and the deck of the numbered cards and the, somewhere in here, the jokers. So those go, give them a quick shuffle. And they go face down to the side here. The face deck cards, the smaller deck, is called the Truth deck. The Clue deck is the larger one. So we draw 3 cards from the Truth deck without looking at them. And we set them aside face down. Pop those there. We use a D6 to generate the mystery. So this is due to 3 tables that give us our location, the object, and the treachery that has occurred. The mystery begins at the 1. Stadium. Stadium. I don't know if there are any stadiums in Hymgard. Maybe it's like a maybe it's like an arena rather than a stadium or something. Or maybe they play sports ball, who knows? Where a 6. The location. Where a location has perished. Can a location perish? Is that a thing? I don't know if that's a thing. But we're going to go with it. How does a location perish? Hang on, let me try one of these other tables. Because there is a thing we can possibly do here. 21. 42. Interesting. What do we got? Eliminate love. That's terrifying. Or broken love. So, one of the things that this table, one of these things it does have is an action, descriptor, and focus table, which allows you to sort of like nut out in your head how, how certain things may come about. So, broken love or eliminate love in a stadium or a, maybe like perished in the sense that like it's, maybe it's perished in the sense that it's sort of like it's a ghost town or like they believe it's haunted. Because that's the sort of like, I feel like that's that sort of, you know, how to put it, things of something has died, like it seems dead, and yet oddly alive. So I'm gonna put down, let's change this to where a location has, I'm just gonna put become haunted. Cool. And then the motivation. What's his motivation here? Was there a motivation table? 2d6. That is 66. Nice. To learn. See? The dice know. The dice know sometimes. Let's start it in Midgard. Midgard seems like a good place. We're at the Midgard Stadium. So Midgard Stadium, where many of the what do you call it, gladiatorial battles within Midgard are held. Also, various sports ball games and other feats of daring, strength, and athleticism usually occur. I, Aristide T.G. Magnusson III, make my way into the main, attempting to inspect. I approach the Midgardian Stadium, inspecting the surroundings for any form of danger. So starting off, you will use I believe it's an inspect roll to get inside. I've got a cheat sheet somewhere. Hold on, let me find that. I'm just opening up all of these things. There we go, quick rolls. Inspect roll, we use 1d6. So, starting off, I will attempt to inspect the area for any potential danger or a way in to the establishment. Start. Locate stage. Okay, cool. So we've infiltrated the building without too much hassle. It seems fairly quiet, which is understandable considering this is a dead, haunted stadium. Clearly left uninhabited for some time. But we enter into the foyer of the. What are we here? Of the foyer of the stadium. There are tickets still strewn in the wind across the floor. Buckets of various snacks left to rot and fester on the ground, and an odd eeriness in the air. I will now. Where are we here? Choose one. Investigate to establish truth. Rest scene. Every turn mark locks it. Write down your guesses for the set aside truth cards. Okay. So we will find our way in. So now that we have found our way in, we must locate the issue. So if we go and find, hang on, where's the actual table thing? So the main thing with this, from what I remember, is you use checks using your various skills, and that can add that can change a scene. It can also investigation scenes. There we go, investigate scenes. You begin with the locate stage unless the inspect roll requires you to begin with the infiltrate stage instead. To move to the next stage in the sequence, your investigator must succeed in an attribute test for an action, which makes sense in the fiction. This action might be searching an area to complete the locate stage, cracking open a lockbox to complete the acquire stage, or slipping out the back door to complete the escape stage. So I do notice some semblance of what appear to be potential, albeit, to the smaller-minded, potential supernatural activity in here. I don't know. I'll have to find somewhere that has a bit more evidence of this. So I'm going to use my keen sense of my keen insights here to attempt to find something a bit more substantial. So we go down to attribute tests. How you perform it? Based on your description, you will determine whichever attribute best describes the action you are attempting. You then roll 2 six-sided dice and sum of the results plus the chosen attribute's number. Then refer to the table below to determine the outcome. If the 2 dice have the same numbers, then a random event also occurs, which has been happening a lot with random rolls recently, which is not good for me, possibly. Okay, so that is a 6 and a 3, so that is a 9. Can we see these dice okay? And does that bother anybody? So it's a 9 plus a 2, which is an 11. Which is a success. The investigator succeeds. What do they do next? We find a clue. So we succeed. So we've found a clue because we've rolled above a 10. Well, we've rolled and we've gotten above a 10. I see them fine. Awesome. Thank you very much. So we receive a clue card, which again are the numbered cards. And we have the 5 of hearts, which we can mark down on our mystery sheet. So I assume it goes here. 5. I'm just going to put H. So what happens now, I believe, is we have a clue table. Clues. Each card with a value from ace to 10, excluding jokers, represent a unique clue in the mystery. You will gain clues when you roll 10 plus on a tribute test, or succeed at a tribute test to complete the acquire stage of an investigate scene. When you gain a clue, you draw the top card from the clue deck and either establish or strengthen a clue. The first time you draw a clue, you draw a card value. You have discovered a new clue. Place it face up in your play area. This play area might get very crowded. You have discovered a new clue. Place it face up in your play area and note that the clue in the corner is missing. This begins the clue set for the value of a card. Use the random tables in the book for inspiration, then use the words generated to contextualize the clue in your fiction. Okay. So, we go to the tables here. Clue table. Here we go. So, we roll 2d6. 62, because it's red left to right. A poisonous substance. So perhaps... So where's my mystery sheet? Here. So, actually, so the actual suit doesn't matter, does it? Poisonous substance. So, I find leaking from one of the vents a strange off-green liquid that seems to stain the walls. Upon examining it closer, my keen olfactory senses have dug up that this is some form of narcotic or poison, some sort of toxin, whether it be natural, artificial, or supernatural, is yet to be discovered. But it does tell me that wherever this came from, it probably came from whatever ventilation room that this building happened. So I'm going to go and find that. Excellent. That progresses us to the next stage. So we have gone through infiltrate, locate. We are now... Oh, but we've moved from that, which puts the danger up by 1. So danger can add to rolls and cause issues down the path. But yeah, fun times. So, continuing on through the corridors, a strange, eerie sound seems to blow, almost wailing through this building. As I make my way Shadows seem to dance in the corner of my eyes. Overworked Rogue, how's it going? Welcome to the mysterious memoirs of Aristide T.G. Magnuson III. We will be, we have underway, we have just entered into the Stadium of Midgard and discovered a strange, some sort of toxin leaking from one of the air vents. So we are on our way to the ventilation quarters, or whatever sort of machinery runs the air vents of this building. So, we continue on pushing through this obvious parlor trick of, neurosense nonsense. Investigations, indeed. So, making our way to the door, we find within some various machines that appear to have been designed to pump air, proper oxygen through the building and some of the smaller rooms. We are going to attempt to see if we can find whatever released this toxin into the air. Let us see here. I will once again use my keen sense of insight to get through this little investigation. Let me just see. There we go. So if I roll on a check, if I roll below the danger rating is halved and a threat is created. Which basically means that whatever danger there is manifests into an actual thing that I have to deal with. We have found our way, the good Aristide Magnuson III. We've made our way to the ventilation room, and we are going to attempt to see if we can find if there is some sort of device or evidence of what left this, narcotic or toxin substance in the room. And now we're once again using my astute sense of insight and am I using this just quickly? Am I using this correctly? Let me just double check it here, because I know it's got particular things on how it's said, and I know people like to name things. Power is insight is your logical thinking and environmental awareness. Resourcefulness and creativity is method. Okay, cool. So, yes, I will once again be using my wondrous skills in insight to attempt to overcome this terrible, obvious parlor trick. Oh, double threes, which also means that something else happens. But we got, ooh, that's not great. We got an 8. Which is success at a cost, so we suffer consequences. So a random event happens. Got to work on not accidentally buffing a monster too much. Other than that, my friends, thought I did good for my first time DMing. That's awesome. Cool. So a random event happens. So a random event happens, but also we succeed at a cost, which means that we need, I believe there is a consequences table. Oh dear, the consequences of my actions have come back to haunt me. Where are we here? Consequences. Okay. So we'll start with this. So I do succeed, however, there are consequences. So I roll 1d6. I must roll 1d6 below and carry out the effect. Threats may increase your danger doesn't. Threats may increase your result. Consider how this might look in the fiction and use it to describe how things. So, blah, 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 blah. Let's re-roll that. 3. Choose a present threat and increase its level by 1. Otherwise, increase danger by 1. Okay, so my danger goes up by 1 because I have obviously upset something by meddling with this. Or were they yours already? These were actually one of the first. I've got like a dozen of these. These were like one of the first dice that I purchased. I was playing a 4th edition Barbarian, and if you have not played 4th edition Barbarians, they require a whole lot of dice. Whole lot of D6s, depending on the weapon you're using. So yeah, no, they are mine. They were mine already, but yeah. Now, I need the random events. Random events. To make a random event, roll on the action, descriptor, and focus tables to inspire the details of the event. Describe how the event affects the scene, changes the behavior of threats, or the goal of your investigation. Okay, so a random event has occurred.
The Emerald 97 has requested you stretch. The Emerald 97 would like you to hydrate, sire.
Thank you, Emerald. So we need the other tables. So the action, descriptor, and focus tables. So roll on all 3 of them. What do we got here? 51, which is reveal. 56. Sacred. 12. Clue. Reveal sacred clue. Had too much paperwork. Way too much paperwork. Wait a minute. No, 12. Sorry, 12 is risk. Reveal sacred risk. So I figure, what do we got here? So what could that be like? Reveal sacred risk. So possibly maybe whatever this is a threat to does sound hella ominous, but sacred risk in this case, if we're dealing with undeath, would be a threat to, but also in this case, a sacred risk in Midgard would be a threat to Balder, who is the current god king of the current god king of Midgard. So, what do we got here? So a random event, let me just check that again. I apologize if I'm continuously going back to things, like, as I said, I'm still learning a bit of this system. I heard he has a very nice gate. Oh, well, that's the thing. Baldur's Gate is not the guy, as it turns out in Baldur's Gate 3. The guy who created Baldur's Gate, his name isn't necessarily Baldur. His name is Balderon, which I found very funny. Where'd that go? That disappeared. It just straight up Okay, gonna need another dice. Luckily, as I mentioned before, I have 1,000 of them. But yeah. Perhaps mistletoe? Ooh. Yes. It could be like the poison, whatever the poison is, it was made from mistletoe. And therefore, it is a poison designed to, someone's testing it to kill. It's obviously like a poison derived of mistletoe to kill Balder. The weakness is definitely some bloke named Loki. So that would be. But we succeeded at a cost. We took the danger because the danger is increased. Because obviously, I'm now getting the sense that perhaps I am not alone in this stadium. But we have acquired, and we must now escape. Let me see here. Do I need to roll? Oh wait, no, danger goes up twice, doesn't it? That's not good. I don't like that. Escape if a threat is present. There's no threat present. Because the random event. Yeah, so the random event was just. So how does it fit here? Do I think that? Because I do have a yes/no. A yes/no chart table somewhere. Let me see here. Now comes the fun bit. So yes/no table. So the yes/no table lets you roll a 1d6. And it then tells you, essentially, it has between those, it's extreme no, yes, or extreme yes. So you ask it questions and then roll, and it answers the question for you. You can use this table to learn something to find out. Some of the outcomes in this table are extreme, which means whatever the result, it is more intense than you were originally meaning. I don't get. Hang on. By rolling 1d6, you can use this table to learn something about the world, to find out if an idea you had will occur, or help some of this table is extreme, which means whatever the result, it is more intense than you were originally imagining. Why, if I roll 1d6, does this go up to 12? So an extreme, so yes, like literally for 1d6, I can only roll no or extreme no. Why? Why would I? How would I be able to roll a 12 or a 7? Hold on. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna roll 2, just for the fun of it, and we'll see what happens. So the question is, do I believe? So I've discovered. Outostide has discovered a. Have you ever extreme node in your life? A couple times. So Outostide has discovered a small device. It appears arcane in nature and smells of a concoction that I remember from a time ago. That smells of mistletoe. I believe this is potentially some sort of device derived by the servants of hell as an attempt to, at the very least, scare the enduring Lord Balder. My question now is there something in here? I sense a presence nearby. Is this a threat that I need to be concerned about? Oh. Absolutely it is. Cool. So, I'm going to switch this up, because I need to. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do this. I'm going to halve this, And I'm going to turn this into a level 1 threat, which we are going to call, if it's a servant of hell and it's left in here, it'll probably be some kind of undead. So we're going to go with a white. Put the kettle on. So, we now know that we are not alone in this building. Something has been stalking us for some time and now looks for us, I think? Or is it a... Let me just double check here from what I remember. A level 1 threat, I think. No. A level 1 threat is... Threat 1. Dangerous but not seeking me. Okay, so it's wandering. It still doesn't know I'm here. But I am aware of it now. But I now need to escape. I have acquired what I needed. And I need to get out. So, if we have... Any keyword and suffer consequences. When do I get... Do I get a clue now? Or... does I have to actually get out first? Hang on. Child of Fenrir pertains to Loki? Potentially. Balder was never really involved with Loki, because the thing is, Balder was, being the god that, as the idea of mistletoe, he was killed before the events of Ragnarok. And he was held in Hell by Hel, who is Loki's daughter. So I feel there's much more of a connection there, and the fact that there is undeath, obviously everywhere around here, that fits more to that idea. Volin told my dad, and so, if we are... Hang on, how do you... Because when do I... Oh, well, I suppose I've got to get out of here anyway. So if there's a threat now, can I just get out? Or... Where's the escape scene? Oh, there's threats. Hold on. How do you make a threat? Each threat is given a level from 1 to 3. Depending on how dangerous they are, write this level next to the name, which represents the threat. After every attribute test that was not made against a threat, the threat acts against your investigator. When a threat acts, you roll 1d6 on the consequences table and add the threat's level to the roll. So I've got to deal with the threat. You can act against them by performing an attribute test. If successful, make a mark next to the threat's name. If your roll was 10 plus, instead 2 marks. Once the number of marks next to the threat's name is equal to its level, the threat is removed. Okay, so we will act against this threat and then we will escape, because we can't leave this threat just wandering, this white wandering the halls. You know, if he gets out, it could be devastating to the people. So, so I roll. I'm going to use my method and creativity. I'm going to try and trap this creature in the room with me, or not with me, but without, like, in the room. I'm going to try and lock it in the room where I am. So I take a piece of steel, a small wrench that I find, and I'm going to tap it against one of the pipes that is leading to try and goad it to come and attack me. And I'm going to wait behind the door. Oh, yeah. Ooh, 10. that would be 10 plus 1, because I'm using my method, which is I believe, a great success. Did you train your voice for singing or acting? Your accent is less Australian, more posh, like Tim Curry. Well, thank you very much for that. Not really. Like I do my voices for tabletop games and stuff like that. I have done a little bit of singing when I was younger, and I was always into acting and drama. But yeah, not really. Oh, we find another clue. So, we've succeeded, and we find another clue. So, the plan works. The white, I can hear it gurgling as it runs down the hallway, clambering along the walls with its claws. As it charges into the room, snarling for the kill, I duck out and quickly slam the door closed and jam the wrench into the latch to hold it inside as it shakes the hard metal door. So, we get another clue. Which means we get another clue card, and we get the 6 of Hearts. So it's not strengthening a clue, because what can happen if we get 2 of the same number? We get to strengthen a clue. It means that clue's become more substantial. So that's not the case in this stage, but it does mean we get a new clue. Which I need the tables sheet for. The thread is a single rat that got access to speed. Very possibly. There are actually, through the deck, there are ways that clues can be... let's use the fantasy clue table, because that's the one we use for the poison, so we'll keep using that one. There are actually, through the book, there are jokers, which means that I can, if you pull those, you can essentially attach it to one of the clue threads that you have, which make it a false lead. But anyway, let's see what our 6 of Hearts clue line is here. 3 and 5. So that is 35. Incantation remains. Ooh. So perhaps there's more to this. Let's see, maybe if we go down to our... Let's just use the focus one, maybe. Focus or... No, action. We'll go with action. Let's just see what this turns up, and we can... 44. Attack. Okay, so... as the... So perhaps as the white turns around, I see it through the grate in the door as it's trying to clamber and bite at me, and I see various, see an obvious unnatural rage in his pale, milky eyes. Which means that, what would it be? What was the incantation remains? That, and I discover that even though this, thing is obviously affected by whatever substance was in this odd contraption, perhaps it seems that whatever it has left to linger, and this person is lost. This person is lost to us. He is fully he is dead inside. I will inform the authorities, and he will be dealt with. But for the moment, I need to get out of here rather quickly. But that takes care of the threat, so I am free to go. So I quickly leave, and that marks the first first part of the first day of our little investigation. Now I just need to check. So that's a turn. Now I believe. Oh, wait, no, we get another clue because we finished the investigation. We were successful in the investigation, so we get another clue because these both came from successes. So, oh, dude, did I shuffle these? 7 of hearts. I might give these another quick shuffle. We're just getting all the hearts here. But that also means that we get another clue. So let's have let's go over what we have discovered, and we will roll the final clue here. I also need to blow my nose because I've got something like right here that is not doing it. So we got 53. Yeah, 53, which is animal gathering. So animal gathering. And maybe we'll roll a focus one. Or let's see here. If I roll 24. Life. So there's an animal gathering giving me murder on the Orient Expo 5s, but Norse. Yes, indeed. Oh, yeah. Rogue, I don't want to, give away too much here. Aristide is an NPC in my game, in my world. He is essentially, if you know much with, D&D stuff, he is basically my world's version of Volo. He is, yeah. So, it's one of the reasons I was very amused at Mac naming his character, Hugo CDC, Chatwin, whatever. Because, yeah, this character exists, and it has existed for a very long time. So 24 focus is life. So animal gathering with the focus on life. So possibly, maybe I noticed that there are certain 7. Fine, you can be caps lock, that's good. I'm not late, you're late. What are the chances? Treasure Planet on the Atlantis movie. Yeah, that's probably very close. Yeah, if you are, just a reminder that if you are enjoying the system, I will probably play more of it in the future because I am really enjoying it. But also, if you type !rain, RAIN, into the chat, it'll bring up the Kickstarter for this. It should be launching later this month. Please go check it out, follow it, and help out a small Australian TTRPG business trying to get their shit off the ground. Because, yeah, they're very cool people. Cool. So, we've discovered an animal gathering here. It seems that whatever toxin has affected these people doesn't affect animals. there are rats and small dogs and other creatures, cats, that don't really seem to be, Trey, a little closer to the flip cards, but we don't. Yep, awesome. That don't seem to be affected. Don't seem to be affected by this toxin. Very curious indeed. I should return to my study to note all of this down. So, we have finished our first day, or our first bit. Now, there's a few things we need to do here. Now, because what we can do... Once the game is over, investigate a scene, establish a truth, rest scene, or obligation scene. After a return, mark a clock segment. So, if we go now to finishing requires you to complete the acquire stage. If a threat is present after completing the acquire stage, you must also complete the cool. So that's all done, that's all done, that's all done. Choose a, hold on. Yep, random events. Threats. Obligation scenes. When you choose to take an event, it's going to carry as an activity that involves blood. These scenes are used to explore your investigator as a person while trying to keep their life from falling apart. No attribute tests are rolled during the scenes. Choose one of your obligations and create a random event centered around the obligation. Answer the following question: how does your investigator care for this obligation? The fatigue and remove any strikes from your attributes. Okay, so does fatigue literally just happen if I've been hit? Because I don't think I'm fatigued. Having any boxes checked in the video always puts your investigator on the risk. No. At the start of the game, all boxes. Each time investigator suffers harm, mark the leftmost. Okay, so I think we got out of that pretty brilliant. So we can do, I think at this stage, we can do another investigation scene. I think we can do another investigation scene because, well, we didn't really take any. It wasn't too strenuous. We can probably head back in on the motto to see what we can discover. Okay, so we return to the stadium to find some new clues as to this these strange happenings. So we start with that inspect roll. 1d6. Can we get in this time again? Questions about location. Use the random tables. Again? Oh, okay. Add the danger level. Okay, there you go. Yeah. 4 plus 1 is 5. Something or someone is in my way. So we return on the motto. Once again, everything seems quiet, but something has changed. I noticed activity inside. Something seems amiss. My keen scholar senses are telling me that I must be cautious entering this time. And it's not just because there's a wight locked in a room in there somewhere. What do we got here? So I need to... What? So, what is this? We need to roll 1d6. I'll have to message them about that thing with the yes/no table. Because that seems like an issue. So let's just go with, is this threat, supernatural, or, well, no, it has to be yes/no question, doesn't it? Is this threat supernatural in nature? No. Actually, let's roll the other one real quick. Yeah, no. Are there other humans in this area? 3 years. Again, it's saying this doesn't make sense to me. I'm gonna have to message them about that. What is 6? No! What is it? What's another threat? So we've got supernatural. It's not supernatural. It's not another person. What do we reckon? Possibly like some kind of animal, maybe? We did say animals were going to be here. Yeah, okay. I'm going to roll 2, because that seems at least making it more likely that I'll get a yes or an extreme yes. Is there some sort of larger animal threat here now? 8, that is a yes. But it's not an extreme yes. It is just a yes. So let's go with, like... We've got a... I think it becomes a Mark 1 threat, doesn't it? With a threat. Okay, but, like, is it just with a 1 threat? So it's fluffy. I perceive that there seems to be some larger droppings around the grounds as I enter that weren't there yesterday. It seems it's possibly either drawn by this strange force or possibly by the aspect of food from the other smaller creatures. Something larger has found its way into here, possibly a wolf or some kind of feral dirge hound. But we will have to be wary. Let me just see here, 'cause it's... So if we go back. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the... And introduce a threat, that's all it says. So, yes, it seems that it probably doesn't know that I am here. So we're going to make it a Mark 1 threat. And we're just going to say canine. Because we don't know what it is yet. Yes, it's in caps, I don't care. Okay, so now we will have to infiltrate carefully while knowing that this is here. Well, perhaps I will head for the same as the last area. I will consider that, and I will find another way in through a window or some sort of opening in the wall further down. I will find something, a quicker route from outside in, because assuming that this thing is found its territory within the stadium. Yeah, but I will use my my method for that. That is a 6 plus 1, which is a 7. 7 is a success at a cost. What is the cost? Consequences. Where are my consequences? Show me the consequences. 1d6. So roll a d6, and that's gone wrong. You must roll one below and carry out the effects. Threats may increase your results. So it's a +1 to the roll due to a level 1 threat. 2. Choose the threat and increases the threats by 1. Max 3. Oh, that's not good. Cool. This may not be going as well as last time, but we've completed the infiltrate stage. Climbing in through the window, it appears that as I climb in, I find a fairly sized canine that has been devoured. I fear that I may have misjudged the size of this creature. I will have to be extra careful or deal with it swiftly. In case, just to be careful. What did I do? For every attribute test that was not made against a threat, that threat acts against your investigator. When a threat acts, you roll 1d6 on the character's table and add the threat's level to the roll, then carry out the effect described on the table. Okay, well, I think that means it's the threats go. Which again, I need to grab the consequences table. I need to set up a sheet for this, because I don't think... Oh yeah. 5. Mark 1 fatigue. Jesus, okay. Pulling out all the stops here. Where's my fatigue? There. Awesome. So, Mark 1 fatigue, which is sort of my health. But we'll move forward, and as I enter, I hear a low growl, and I quickly rush to a new spot and hide with anything. But along the way I jar my side on the wall. It is quite painfully as this the beast comes to find me. It becomes fairly apparent that I might need to deal with this threat before continuing with the location of what is happening here. So I am going to see here how to deal with such a beast. Perhaps food. Perhaps it is hungry. These things are usually the case. Perhaps there is a crate somewhere that I can trap it in with the allure of food. Excellent. So I will find the kitchens, and I will take a crate and create a rather cartoonesque box trap with something very heavy and tasty as bait for this creature. Oh, such a whimsical and yet genius plan. Where are we here? So I need to, if I'm going against a threat, where are we here? Nope, that's another thing. Hold on. Where's the threat thing here? Threats. Because it was like, how do you make a threat? What to do with threats? How to defeat threats. To remove a threat from a scene, you can act against them by performing an attribute test. If successful, make its name if you roll was 10 plus. Instead make 2 marks. Okay. So I will use once again my wonderful creativity to lure this creature into a trap to attempt to lock it down. Yeah. It is a 7. Which is from memory, a success at a cost. Suffer consequences. Suffering a lot of consequences on this one. I'm not sure today was worth it. And consequences were... Yep, we'll need to make a proper sheet for things next time, because I don't think... Wait, no, back up. Up. Oh wait, where's consequences? Wait a minute. Investigator attribute scenes, followed by that. Consequences. There we go. Okay. So once again, 1d6 threats may increase, so that's 8. Shit. Sorry, I mean that's plus 2, so 4. Discard a card from the clue deck. Shouldn't have looked at that. If I'm right, if that's correct, yes. Discard a card from the clue deck. Okay, so he took one of my clues. So he broke a lot of stuff along the way. I could hear him charging down to it. He pushed over some things that I heard them clatter to the ground, which is going to make searching later very difficult. But the trap doesn't quite work, but it does allow me to get away from him. And it seems to have befuddled his senses. So he is... If I'm right, that means he's no longer looking for me? Yes, he is no longer looking for me. Which is an issue. Which is good. It is good. Very well. Now that that's done, let's go and find let's go and find this scene. Let's see what we can deduce. We can deduce from this. So, yeah. Using my wonderful insight, of course. That is a 10 total, which I believe is a success. Which means we get a clue, if I am not mistaken. Yes, 10 plus. Find a clue. Would have liked that one, because that would have selected... Oh, we got a 7. So we've strengthened We have strengthened one of our clues. So that means that the... the 7? Wait a minute, where's the thing on strengthening clues? Right, with clues, here we go. When you strengthen a clue, you add another detail to its descriptor. For example, you might have a clue which says the culprits used a green van to escape the scene. When you strengthen this clue, you could generate some random words such as protect, old, and risk. This could mean the van is old and one of the doors is loose, so the culprits have taped the door, making it easy to identify. Okay, so... I guess we're at this stage. What was it? Number 7. Oh, that's animal gathering. So if we roll some new words here. Where's the tables? And more details to the clue. What is that? For example, you might have a clue that which says the culprits used a green van. Okay. So if we roll once again on the action descriptor and learn it table. 55. Demand. $51 is slow. And 64. Demand slow relationship. I don't know if that's helpful. So the animal gathering, that was focused on life is, what is it? Demand slow relationship, which so how would that add on? So an animal gathering that is focused on life. I'll just take a sort of spend some time to get to know you first. So demand slow relationship. What if it's slow demand? No, because the focus is on relationship. Descriptor is slow. The action is demand. Slow demand relationship. So what if it's like demand is slow? So the animals now have a relationship with the undead, sort of thing, like they're connected. So they're coming in afterwards to sort of to eat what is left over. And maybe they're evolving from it, or they're being changed by it in themselves. Like it's sort of the feasting on undead flesh is slowly changing them. Now that we have made it... Oh, wait. It's changing the fauna, which means that we should follow... That perhaps if we follow the animal tracks or refuse on the ground, we will find a way to some sort of answers. some nuances here. So that concludes our locate stage, which means danger goes up again. Danger is quite high at the moment, but it also means that we did not act against the threat that turn, and it was not entirely dealt with. Actually, it doesn't drop down to a 1 threat, does it? It's still a 2 threat. So, once again, the... where is it here? Consequence effect. So we're adding 2 to this? Yeah. 3 plus 2 is 5. Ooh, Mark 1 fatigue again. So this creature breaks out and starts chasing me again. And I have to run. Which leaves me with another fatigue. I am quite fatigued. This is not good. But I make it through to the new area, but I feel that a new area of the stadium, I'm not quite able to look around because I need to deal with this whatever creature is chasing me. So I'm going to attempt again to try and deal with it. But how to do that? As I run, I think, and I look around for some sort of method for dealing with this creature. Where are the stats again? God, it is warm here. I am going to attempt to I am going to remove as I run down the courtyard. I'm going to turn a corner very quickly, and I will take my jacket off as I'm running, and very, very woefully, it is one of my favorite jackets. I am going to toss it down another archway to try and get this this creature off my scent. So once again, using my method. Yeah. Ooh, 11, which is, I believe, yes, that is 2 marks, which means that it is dealt with. The threat is no longer there. As I run, I woefully hear him tearing up one of my best coats, but it is all good. I have a few spare back at home. I will ensure to remember to replace it in the near future. But that threat is gone. Now, now that I've found more on where these creatures are coming from, I am going to attempt to find perhaps what is driving these creatures. Any sort of sign of what is pushing these creatures forward and binding them to this strange, unnatural force. Using my cunning insights. So that is a 6 plus 2, which is a 8, which I believe is success at a cost again. I'm still rolling over danger. Oh no, because that would be... Nope, danger doesn't increase after that because I was dealing with a threat. But we are going to... Hang on, where's my thing here? Suffer consequences, yep. So consequence is... 5 threats add to consequences, don't they? So it shouldn't be anything, but it is... Oh, good lord. I am going to need a rest after this. Hold on. Where did I put the details here? Because there should be. Hang on. Where was the consequences? Just need to remember if it is... I can't remember if it's danger or... Threats. Increased result. There is no threat on the table at the moment because we dealt with the dog. So that was a... So that was another fatigue. I have increased my fatigue by 1. I'm getting too old for this. I need to settle down and look after my grandchildren. My many, many grandchildren. So we have succeeded. So what do we find? Let's roll, because we've received a clue, which is the 8 of diamonds. Which the clue attached to those 61. Trap. Not a great start. For the descriptor 43, which is foreign. Focus 24, life. Trap, foreign, life. Trap. So the threat, no. Action is trap. Descriptor is foreign. So it could be a foreign trap for life. Or trapping foreign life. Are you trapping the... No, because it's not mine. It's a clue. It's something that I've discovered that the focus and the focus is so the focus is life, trap, and descriptor is foreign. So something... So maybe something foreign has been trapped here? Something... Oh. Perhaps it's the threat, the thing that we were dealing with. The thing that's also in here is a... Like, what do you call it? It's a garm. Like, it's a giant wolf that's growing, and they're hoping that the fear will leave it elsewhere. But that means that something... perhaps some sort of hunter has led them here, or some sort of dark force surrounding wolves has led them here, which works with Hell, and then, as someone mentioned before, with Fenrir. Okay. Actually, we've got a clue table, don't we? Like, hang on a minute. Let's roll on that and see what we find. Because that's what I forgot to roll on. Clue table, fantasy. 23. Strange weather. That doesn't really count. Hang on, let me try. Wait, what's 32? Whispered rumor. Whispered rumor. That could be something. So maybe it's like there's the whispered rumor of some sort of dark force that's coming back. And I need to go and find whoever's running this. And perhaps there's another rumor that leads me elsewhere. What would a rumor? Where would a rumor lead me? So perhaps there's a rumor of a local, some sort of local warehouse where someone's been stocking, or they say there's been word of strange noises and people unloading crates at strange points in the night. Yeah. Okay, so that was 8. Ooh, keep that up. Local. Oh, come on, man. Rumor. Local warehouse. Smuggling creatures. Yeah, that's fine, whatever. Mayhaps that's why it's lurking here. Very possibly. Maybe it escaped. Or maybe it's something else. Cool. So, we have acquired. Danger goes up again. We haven't any events, and there are no threats. So, that is we don't have to escape, so that's all done. Oh wait, was that a wild success that got me that clue? I think it was. Do I get another clue? I can't remember if that was a success or if that was just the end of the acquire phase. Someone help me here. Who was paying attention? Okay. Oh, good. Very well. Then I'm going to say that I'm pretty sure that was a success thing, which means I'm going to take another clue. there. So that is a 9 of diamonds. Once again, these are not shuffled well. But that is going to be another roll on the clue deck, on the clue table. 65. Recent camp. Well, that makes sense, because then if we go with the idea of it being a abandoned foreign 54 followers. Okay. So perhaps there have been rumors of so maybe instead of this, look. Rumor of people smuggling creatures. 9 abandoned hunting camp. Outside Midgard. Cool. So we found a few clues, and we can escape because there is no threat. But we do have 3 fatigue. So we're going to probably take a rest day, I think. Let me just double check how that works. Nope, that was the wrong button. Rest scenes. There we go. Rest scenes. When you choose to rest your investigator player, this could be sleeping, spending time with friends, or anything else. Roll 1d6 and unmark that many boxes from the fatigue track, right to left, and remove any strikes from your attributes. Then narrate how you rest and discard 1 card from the clue deck. God damn it. Okay, so we're going to have a rest day to try and heal some of this fatigue. Hopefully it gives me more than a 3. It does. Awesome. So I fully rest up with a lovely day, doting upon my grandchildren, sitting in my armchair and regaling them with tales of my old stories. Of course, made suitable for children. But yes, what a lovely day. So that's 2 marks on that. So we've got... Double check here. What happens when the clock fills? Each obligation not marked, then reset the clock and all obligations. Am I supposed to be, like, gaining obligations along the way? Which also means that... No, actually... So we're going to... I feel like we need... This is time is of the essence here. So we should probably go out and... I feel like the writing of my books must be redone here. Must be prioritized here. this case has to take some semblance of priority here. So I will continue on, and we will play out this again as I go and investigate this strange camp. Let's see here. We'll start with the inspect roll once again. 4. Which is, we start with the threat. So what is there? I'm gonna use 2d6 just because otherwise it's literally just no or extreme no that I can get, really. So I also don't know if danger's meant to reset at the end of scenes. Let me see here. First of all, danger. Beginning of each investigate stage, the danger level is increased by 1. It can also be increased when investigator establishes consequences any time you perform an attribute if the result is less or equal to. If you do halve danger, run up. The beginning of each investigation, the danger level is increased by 1. Okay, so it doesn't really say if it resets after certain things. Okay. But we shall see. So, what do we have here? We have a small camp. It appears to be, there seems to be movement inside. Is it human in nature? 4, that would be a no. Is that an extreme no? No, it is just a no. Okay. Is it another creature of some type? Perhaps something has escaped? 7, that is a yes. Okay. Once again, we have some sort of creature that has been lured to the camp. Is the creature a natural beast of the land? Roll that one. No, so it is something supernatural, which is not good. Not good at all. So we start with a level 1 threat. Nope. Where's my mystery sheet? There it is. 1. And we will say it is let's say it is a Vargulf, which is essentially a werewolf. Terrible, terrible creature. I must be most cautious. So, we now go through the infiltrate stage. I must make my way into the camp very carefully. I'm going to keep my wits about me. Make sure to keep my eyes open, using my environmental awareness and my insight to pick the perfect path into the camp. That is an 8 plus 2, which is a 10, which is a success, and I gain a clue. 8. Ooh, we strengthened this one. People smuggling creatures. Okay, so how does this get strengthened? So for those of you who are just joining us, I don't really know how to bring it up and all this without just completely sharing my screen, which I don't feel will be very interesting, or at least will be very confusing. This game uses a lot of tables, so using the 2d6 to roll to find different things on the tables to help you sort of tell the story. Yeah, where we got here. So we've got strengthen this clue. We've got yep. I'm going to go with that as 32. So the action, improve. 15 is dark. And 64. Or 46. What's 46? We had relationship. 46. Improve dark plan. Ooh. So not... So improve dark plan. So people smuggling creatures. So smuggling and what's the word? Evolving dark creatures. Magnus has a feeling that an old friend of his might be behind this. Enjoyed reading Berserker, so playing an RPG in that world sounds amazing. Thank you very much. I'm hoping to start I will be starting a proper TTRPG for that soon. I have a couple screens set up for it. Hopefully this doesn't screw everything, because I think it's going to mess up my camera at least. But I made... Oh, look, I'm everybody. But we have artwork now, and look at all this shit. This is cool stuff. But yeah, so we're doing a TTRPG stream set in Hymgard pretty soon, and this is all set in Hymgard. So this is one of my main characters that I've had for a while. This is essentially my world's version of Volo from D&D. So yeah, so it seems that these smugglers are not only smuggling these creatures into Midgard, they're performing some sort of dark ritual to change them somehow, evolving them into morphed creatures of myth. I fear for the purpose of this. However, I also realize at this point that I have, in this moment of fascination, let my guard down slightly, as it seems that this creature may have picked up my scent. So I roll on the consequences table. Oh wait, no, that's on this sheet, isn't it? I did see it there. Yes. So +1 to that. Gotta go. Catches later. Catch a full brush. 3, 4. Discard a card from the clue deck. Okay. So for everyone at home, this is the clue deck, this is the truth deck, and this is, I guess, like the answers deck. Which, yeah, I'm not going to pretend to understand all of it at the moment, but it's been very fun so far, at least. Excellent. So the thing seems to be eating something. I hope that this creature seems to be eating something. I can't tell what it is. It seems to be mauled beyond any sort of recognition. Hopefully it wasn't anything too important. But I should probably also try to get this creature out of the way. So let me see if I can find a way to get this devil out of my camp, so that I may peruse the area safely. Perhaps if we find perhaps if they've left some kind of powder cache around, perhaps I can find a way to blow.
23. Just follow.
Thank you, Fred.
Welcome to
Thank you for the follow. Very kind. Perhaps I can create a sort of explosion to try and spook this creature and shake it and shake its nerves slightly so that it flees from the area and then can be hunted down later once this area has been cleared, of course. So I will use for the moment perhaps I will use my insight to try and find such a thing. Hey dude, I love you streaming. I would love to be your fans. This is my Discord username. Awesome. You can find my Discord in the you can find my Discord server in the panels or below if you want to join that. No worries. Perhaps I will let's see if we can find a powder cache or something with my insight and investigation skills. Whoop. Ooh, that's not good. Which would be a 6, which I don't think cuts it. 6. Failure. Gain a keyword. But perhaps... Wait a minute. With my keyword, with my keen knowledge of these sorts of camps, having been on a number of hunting expeditions myself, I will surely know of such a place. So perhaps I will use my keyword to re-roll. Cannot be used while stroked out. Wait, I can just use that to eliminate a threat? Choose a present threat, excluding rivals, and remove it from your scene as if you had defeated it. Okay. Well, then I will use my knowledge of these creatures, because I've dealt with Vargulf before, and although this is generally a warped ideal of one, I assume it works on the same principles. So I will find a small... I will find and my knowledge of these sorts of camps, I will, find the powder cache and set off a small powder keg to create an array of sparks and bangs to scare the creature away. So that removes the threat. Now that we are free to move, we can locate the what do you call it? We can locate have a look around for some more clues around here with my insight. 5 plus 2. Okay, so that's... I don't have my keyword anymore. Not for the moment. 5 plus 2 is 7, which I believe is success at a cost. Because of course it is. Yep. So. So there's no threat at the moment. So... Oh, wait a minute though. Hang on. That was... Because we finished the infiltrate stage. No, because we finished the infiltrate and that went up. That's all good. We're okay. Ooh, that was spooky. So we got a 4. Discard a clue. Seems my what do you call it? It seems my explosion might have damaged a few things. But I find an entrance into one of the main tents That seems to be whatever whoever was running this operations details. But we once again, so we found our way in, but perhaps, and there seems to be a bit of equipment around here, and some books, though old, and bits of paper. But we shall see what we can find. However, our danger rating does go up. We're at 5. Oof. Okay. So I will once again have a look around to see what I can find. Seems to be the idea. Oh, that's not good. Failure. Gain a keyword and suffer consequences. Cool. So, we have failed that, but also we have rolled below our danger rating. Which means that we, if I remember right, we halve. Create threat, halve danger. Does that round down or up? Woo!
Prepare the defenses. At Sabaton
Double raid. Look at that. Hey Liam, how we doing? Hello everybody. Very welcome, very welcome. My name is Dragyn, also known as the Heavy Metal Game Master. I am a content creator in the TTRPG space. I am also a variety streamer, a professional game master, and a published author. You can find information for all of that in the panels or on my website, which you can also find through the panels. Yeah, we are currently checking out Caught in the Rain, which is a solo TTRPG, which I've set in my homebrew world of Hymgard. So Caught in the Rain is a solo TTRPG, all based around like mysteries and solving cases and all that sort of stuff. It is made by a small Australian company called Ravens Ridge Emporium, and so far it's been fairly fun. It's quite good. I'm just trying to figure out how a certain thing works, because I'm still sort of learning the system myself. The lovely people at Ravens Ridge Emporium were lovely enough to send me through an advanced copy, as the Kickstarter has not been...
Show 'em some love. If you like Go Home Annie, you're gonna love their channel.
Go Home Annie?
Go drop 'em a follow.
But yes, if you go on to Kickstarter and check out Caught in the Rain, they're a very cool crew. Was doing a few spooky games. Ah, nice. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out on this, because there's meant to be a thing if you roll under danger, things happen. And we've just done that. Which means that a threat definitely happens. Advice for clues. Hold on, sorry. What? Yeah, it is very interesting because it works mostly surrounding, like, it's just a storytelling tool, really. There are, you know, like, limits for failure. There are stakes, definitely. But it all works around, like, clues, and they do that by using a deck of cards, which is really cool. But, yeah, and then there's methods for, like, as you see in the sheets next to me, there's methods for fatigue, and for, like, areas for clues and threats and all that sort of stuff. threats we are about to deal with. I'm just trying to find the danger thing here. If the result is less than equal, rounding up. Okay, that's all I needed to know. So if we have rolled under the danger, we have, so we halve the danger rating. You must introduce a threat in. If you do halve the danger. Okay, so we gain a keyword and we halve the danger. So our danger goes to 3. We have succeeded. Did we succeed? No, we didn't succeed. So we've got to do that one again. Go away. But we get a threat. So for the threat, has the Munch and Lay Down My Goods said, no worries, Liam, if you're still here, have a good one. Go do all your post-stream care stuff. Thank you for trusting me with your community. Cool. So, checking in, we're going to say, has the creature returned? Was it only temporarily spooked? 5. I believe that's a no. Yeah, it'll be a no. So, has my explosion started a fire? 6, which might be a yes. Actually, no, it's still a no. Have the hunters returned? Also a no. So not the monster, not a fire, not the hunters. What else could we have as a threat in this scene? Hang on, let me see here. Maybe if we find... Oh, here we go, threat table. That's helpful. 12. That's 21. 12. Hungry bandits. Okay, so it's alerted some local bandits to my presence, and I will have to be a little bit careful as they are starting to approach and rifle through my crime scene here. Okay, well, once again, I'm going to leave them for a moment. I'm going to lay low, and I'm going to once again try to see if I can find anything that tells me a bit more about this this situation. So that's 9 plus 2 is 11, so that is a success. And I get a clue. So rolling a success that is 10 or above means that you get a clue. On thing, you normally only get a clue when you complete the acquire phase. So we got a 2. Which means we've got a new clue. New clue we can do. Okay. Where's my clue table? Clue table fantasy. 13. Arcane illusion. And we'll try on the other tables just to see exactly what this is, but there's some sort of okay, so 51 reveal 61 aquatic 34 deception aquatic deception. Let's try re-rolling on that last one because I don't know about aquatic at the moment. Old deception. That makes more sense. So reveal old deception. What if I find some things that tell of a few scraps of... There's a few... So there was not... No, perhaps there was. But what if the stadium, or the internal of the stadium, has actually been manipulated to look like an old dusty stadium, and they've made illusions of strange creatures roaming it to cover up some sort of other nefarious beings. What if the wolf creature was some sort of like escapee from this illusion, and there is actually some sort of dark beast making facility within the stadium's walls? Yes, that is perhaps it. But let's see what else we can find. Of course, unfortunately, we do need to let the bandits, do need to keep our eyes on the bandits. But they're about to have their go. But we now move to the acquire phase 5, which is Mark 1 fatigue. So unfortunately, I have to... It's very tricky getting around these bandits. They're ransacking this place. They're such thugs, so uncivilized. But we should try to acquire a few pieces so I can take them back and collage them on my wall. And I need some pieces, check these other pieces of writing. Yeah, we will try to find what we can here. Ooh, that's not good. 3 plus 2 is 5, which does not put us under our danger rating, thankfully, but it does mean that we fail. So we gain a key. Oh, we would have gained a key. No. Wait, did we fail? I think we did earlier. So let's quickly, before we do, let's grab a keyword. Because that will be important. Keyword table. Fantasy. 64. Herald. So that was when the bandits showed up, I think. So, I'm going to say that these bandits are not very stealthy. And I'm going to use that keyword to... I mean, I can just use the keyword to remove them, can't I? No, I have to use it. Well, I can use it to reroll. Hang on. Wait a minute. No, that's the thing. Okay. So I take 1 fatigue. I have the keyword herald. So, because the knowledge one is used. But I will use the keyword herald to find my way around the bandits, because I can hear them. They're not very stealthy. They don't know that I'm here. So, I'm going to use that to re-roll this check and see if I can see what I can find. Yeah. Much better. And doubles, which means there's an event. So we equip the choir. We get another clue. Raking in the clues. It is a 3. God, we're making a full set here. I knew this was going to get crowded. I need a bigger desk. So we'll finish the clue bit. Clue table. Yeah. 34. Nope, that's suspicious sighting. Okay. Let's roll some keywords for this. Or some words for this. Okay, I definitely feel like there are a couple of tables that I'm going to use regularly. I might have to put together a bit of a cheat sheet for this one. Alright, everyone, I gotta go to sleep. Enjoy stream. No worries. Have a great night, Hex. I said it's 14 God. 23 empty. 66 burden. Perhaps this is confirmation. That's alright. We will wait for the ads. And we will find the events, random events, while we're at it. Yeah, how are you all feeling on this? What do we think so far? Because I'm enjoying it. I'm interested to see how it actually evolves into like how these cards work and the truth cards exactly. But yeah. Yeah, it's something that I think there's a lot of stuff here that would work really well as tools for other systems. And also I think it's also something that'd be interesting to use parts of it even just for actual like story writing. Would be very interesting. So, but random events, where did the random events go? Where are we here? Random events, threats. Table, so moment, shibaba. Alright, so we've got it says random events have happened when 2 dice contribute roll. Make a random event roll on the action, description, and focus tables to inspire the details of the event. So a random event happens. So we're gonna roll on 65, unsightly. 26 is route. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I've missed one here. 65. Abandon unsightly route. So the random event. Abandon unsightly route. What's in a random event? Abandon unsightly route? What if... Perhaps I did mention before... Perhaps... From what I was saying before, that the... bandits are now... Because they were sort of, like... being very rowdy and before, perhaps they've been alerted to my presence. And are now moving stealthily to find me, and I've only just caught on. Which I'm going to put this up to 2, because they're now looking for me. And I'm going to gain, and because I've activated increased a threat, I'm going to gain a keyword, which if I roll on the keywords table, yeah, no, it could work very well to, as a, what do you call it? As like a one-shot creator. I would say it's 15. Armor. Ooh. Perhaps I can... perhaps I've found some armor. Perhaps I can fight. I can fight these guards off. These bandits off. I've had it. I have had it with... had it with this... Poshy, funny, I need to crack some skulls. I'm gonna tuck my monocle into my pocket and, add on this, this armor to fight off the invaders. So that would require power, which I am not good with. However, my armor will allow me to re-roll or add a check. So, what are we gonna do here? So they've attacked me, so I've got to roll to fight them off. So, hiya! Oh, not bad. 9 plus 0, so 9. Which is success at a cost. That's not bad. Hang on. When dealing with a threat, what did it say about dealing with a threat? That's not a no, because that's a different thing. So I'm trying to do. Whoop. Oh, so that's a success. So I go 1 on there, because that's one thing. I'm then going to... I will once again... Very bolstered and quite fired up. I'm going to attempt to deal with them again using my newfound strength and aggression. That's much better. 2. So that's 2. Well, that's 3 actually. But yeah. Let me just double check that I'm doing this correctly. Because I can add in... And these are the... Oh, right. I'm just confused because it's right down at the end of the quick rolls. So I need the threats bit. How do you defeat it? To remove that, you can act against them by performing an attribute test. If successful, mark it right next to the said marks. Once the number of marks next to the threat is equal to its level, the threat is removed. So does that... Hang on, because that means that... If I'm correct... Result... Okay, so I still take these, I assume. Success at a cost, so I suffer consequences for the first one. 6, I get 1 fatigue. But that also means, for the second one, I also get another clue. Possibly from roughing up these bandits. Perhaps one of them squeals. I'm sorry for the vulgarity. I'm very fired up here. 5. I'm really just like... Oh no, I already have a 5. That's right. So we've strengthened the poisonous substance clue. That perhaps there's some sort of other... 50-foot track. Doubles on a test. So we need the tables. Yep. 14 is guard. 51 is slow. And 55 is bravery. Guard, slow, bravery. What if it's not about bravery? Maybe it's like bravery and it's like fear. So guard, slow, bravery. Like it's maybe the substance used. And I'm going to do a thing here. I'm not sure if this is meant to be a thing. But in that case, Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Hold on a second. So for the poisonous substance, so I'm going to put poisonous gas creates hallucinations. Undead. So I realize in that moment as one of these bandits charges for me, the same wild look in his eyes that I saw before in the white that was in the building, and I realize in hindsight that the white never necessarily touched me or attacked me directly, and I have realized it in hindsight that perhaps it was all an illusion from some residual of the toxin in the air, meaning that it is in itself a defense mechanism. So I must ensure I go prepared for that next time. With that, the bandits are dealt with, however, after receiving a good throttling from old Aristide Magnuson. I need to get out of here. But I've also, once again, due to the fact that I completed the acquire phase, I've got another clue, which is a 10, which is a new clue. We got all the clues. Look at all these clues. You can't see the top row anymore. That's how many clues we've got. So 10 is 25. Clue table. Fantasy. 25. House Sigil. Ooh. Ooh. We have a lead. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't just have a clue. We have a lead. House Sigil. Let's see here. Which house is it? Let's see, perhaps if we go with... Do we have a... Because I know we have an object table. Let me have a look at that. Where are you? Which house is behind this? That is the question here. Where's the object table? There we go. Oh. 46. God. A house... Which god would be behind such terrible... Which house sigil would be behind such terrifying creatures? And such deception? It would be... Well, let's see. Hang on. Here we go with keyword 31. Methinks that perhaps there may be a noble family within Midgard's walls that is behind this. perhaps some history with one of the old gods of Ragnarok. And we shall find them. What connection to God? Very well. We shall leave. We have no threats anymore. So we shall return home for a time, and I shall look upon as I return back to my abode, I shall look upon my latest tome, left unfortunately empty for the day, and weep at the lack, and I feel the weary weight of my bones as I crawl into bed, as I gain fatigue because I did not fill out my obligations within this time. But that clears all of that, and it starts a new day. Cool. Well, I am going to leave this here for the moment. But this has been really cool. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of our story using the Caught in the Rain system. If you'd like your own copy of Caught in the Rain, it is set to be released in late 2025, but it is currently available for pre-sale over on their website, so go and check it out and secure your copy right now. And if you'd like more episodes of the mysterious memoirs of Aristide Thaddeus Grunden Magnusson III, please let me know in the comments. I really enjoy making these videos, and Aristide is a character that I really, really love playing with. So, yeah, please let me know. And a huge thank you to my Ko-fi supporters. You're the reason I get to keep doing this, and I hugely appreciate you. Also, if you like the sound of Hymgard and you want to know more about it, you can check out my videos here. And if you want to check out the Echoes of Ragnarok stream, our actual live played campaign, you can find more videos here. All right. Have a good one, y'all.